Okay, this video is the instructional video for using the product lookup by all types. It's a link that'll be available on the left hand side of the screen here underneath the section for product databases. Now that section is only visible if you are currently logged into the website, so make sure that you're logged in, and once you are logged in you can go ahead and click on product lookup by all types. You're going to want to utilize this lookup if you know the general type of product that you want to know about or trying to find, but maybe you don't necessarily know who the manufacturer is. So we lead you to this screen, which has basically one field for you to go into. And let's say in this particular case, we're going to go to, say, power centers. So I would choose power centers, and I would say search. Now, the initial screen that this pops up is our initial product results screen. If you've already gone through one of the tutorials, you've probably seen this before, so you're somewhat familiar with it, with one slight change. But you're basically seeing all of the results of all of the power centers that is there, and there's 1 through 5. That's right there. Going over a couple of fields, very simple. Manufacturer item is here, along with pinnacle code, the type, classification. Again, if there's a way to classify drill down a little bit more in terms of power centers, it would be here. In this case, there's no need for it, so they're all NA. A short description, our cost. Now here, before you've seen pricing, here we have tier 1 pricing. We may change this to, we say, tier 1, 2, maybe even 3 on here, but right now it's just tier 1. All of the costs on here are just dummy data, so we're just kind of throwing in their numbers, nothing at all connection with those particular products. And obviously pricing is all blank. And our lead time in days, and then a note for flag for deletion. So let's say, for instance, you run across here, you did a search on something. If that item for any reason has been flagged to delete, you're going to see that yes here. It hasn't been deleted yet from the system, but it has been flagged for such. So if you're looking for a product, keep that in mind. Now, if you want to make inline changes to anything on any one of these lines, you can do so right here on this screen by clicking on Edit right next to the little pencil icon. So I'm just going to pull up this one for an example. I'm going to click on Edit. And the screen is basically going to take me back to the screen that was there before, but now with the option to actually edit inside those fields. Now again, manufacturer item, pinnacle product code, type, and classification, probably not a lot of changes that are going to be needed to that. Description, possibly we might need to make a change to that. Definitely in cost, as those costs start dropping, we're hoping. And pricing, there's always changes, of course, to that. Lead time in days, that might change as well. To make any of these changes, and again, also the ability, if you need to flag this item for deletion, you would go ahead and select whatever information you want. You make that change. In this case, I'll say lead time goes from 10 to 7 days, and then I will click modify. That is basically saving all of my changes to that line on the initial results screen. So you're asking yourself, I don't need just initial results, I want some more details. Well, here's the answer. If you go ahead and click on the manufacturer item number, then that will send you to a detail screen. The detail screen will include information that you just saw on the last screen with a little bit more. So what you saw before, manufacturer item number, pinnacle product code and type, classification, description. We'll have a field here for notes. So there's nothing here now, but in the future when there are notes, you'll see those there. Those could pertain to internal notes, installation stuff, whatever happens to be, those will be there. The type of pool that this pertains to, in this case we have production that's on there. These things might be different. The cost that we saw. Now, not just tier 1, but tier 2 and 3 pricing will be right here. And then cost and price good as of. There will be in the future, well, when there's information in the database, there'll be a date field there. What that date basically says is, as of this date, all these pricing and this costs are in effect. These are all current as of this date. Right underneath here, you have your supplier, primary and backup, your lead time in days, which we saw on the last screen, and then also for color and style. These particular attributes may not necessarily apply to a pump or maybe a controller, but they will for pavers and tiles and stuff like that. So if it does apply, this is where you'll see that information along with size, and unit of measurement. Okay, so that will have information there. Now in this particular one, these next 4 fields all will have hyperlinks next to them, so you'll be able to click on them and they'll open up a website. We don't know what those links are currently. So instead of having nothing there, I just put nasa.gov, which again is not NASA all fools. Okay, it is NASA, the place that sends stuff up into the air. So those are just kind of dummy links. These will change as we have the actual information. A spec sheet would be a link to a website or maybe a PDF on specifications for that product. The install sheet, notes on installation. And then image galleries and videos. These would all be on internal, external servers that give you a little bit more information as it pertains to that product, its size, dimension, color, how it's installed, anything that has to do with that, and you'll get this information. These last 3 fields, discontinued. Okay, it's been flagged for, not flagged, but it's marked as discontinued. It remains in the database. We have the information, but it's marked as discontinued. Employee ID of the person that had inputted this information. So if you have any questions, you can go back to that person or whatever happens to be. And then whether or not this item is currently in stock. Okay, so that's basically the detail screen for the product lookup by all types on the Pinnacle product database. You can again click on, you can scroll through the other 5 that result in their screen. You can do that here, or that can't be done right there. I'm sorry. That again, like the search button, it sends you back to the main screen. So you'll basically want to go back and kind of initially do the search if you need to do so. But again, that is the product lookup by all types for the Pinnacle product database lookup.